Our names were given to us by people who enslaved us and oppressed us. And our responsibility is to show symbolically and also in reality that we are no longer subjected to those particular groups of people who held that dominion over us.
Coming back to Africa will show us the real history of what was done to our people. And what it will ultimately do is show that African Americans have truly went through a lot and they are succeeding.
I knew I was going home to say thank you, that whoever had made it across for me, that I had made it back for them.
That was a heavy day. There was a lot of emotions. The rain felt good in a way, like a cleansing kind of a way. I think I felt grief, sadness, and the anger, but also at the same time leaving with a sense of pride of knowing that my descendants have survived and persevered, and I'm still here today.
Imagine one day you go home and your brother's not there, your sister's not there, your mother's not there, and you don't know what happened to them, and you never get that closure.
I don't know how we can retell that story. I don't think you can write it. I don't think you can document it. It has to be felt.
In my whole life, I've never come across an emotional video like this one. This is Santiago City College student who visited Ghana for the first time. Guys, this is their experience. Let's watch this video together and share our thoughts. Let's watch.
Hello, welcome to Accra.
We are connected. We come from the same roots. Based on history, we only got separated due to the transatlantic slave trade.
Our names were given to us by people who enslaved us and oppressed us. And our responsibility is to show symbolically and also in reality that we are no longer subjected to those particular groups of people who held that dominion over us.
I got a name. It was named Kobina Aqua, and Kobina means Tuesday. Aqua is my name, which means the strongest man in the village.
My name is Akua Nakua. It means I was born on Wednesday. From what I was told, it means that I turn my pain into happiness.
When we arrived at the slave dungeons, Cape Coast and Elmina, I felt the heavy energy immediately. I found myself being in that space almost claustrophobic, having a hard time breathing, knowing that there was so much pain there.
So hard to explain all of the emotions and the spectrum of emotions that you feel. The fear and the anxiety, walking along with your colleagues, knowing that this is the last steps that someone took.
How in the world can anyone downplay the pain that we have gone through as a community and as a race?
The All-African Diaspora Education Summit was created to reacquaint our people with what African-centered education is all about.
In middle school, I was learning about the slavery. They didn't tell us about the rooms, what they make women go through, what they make kids go through.
I teach this material, and I thought I understood it, and I thought I was ready for it, but I wasn't ready. I think I'm not going to be able to teach this material the same way because I realize I haven't been doing it justice.
As I was riding the bus, I thought of all the history books I read. I thought of Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, my mother. I knew I was going home to say thank you, that whoever had made it across for me, that I had made it back for them.
That was a heavy day. There was a lot of emotions. The rain felt good in a way, like a cleansing kind of a way. I think I felt grief, sadness, and the anger, but also at the same time leaving with a sense of pride of knowing that my descendants have survived and persevered, and I'm still here today.
Not a lot of people know this, but water holds memory. Being in the water and hearing how they would throw the dead slaves into the ocean made me feel very connected, but also sad. I wanted to cry.
Imagine one day you go home and your brother's not there, your sister's not there, your mother's not there, and you don't know what happened to them, and you never get that closure.
I don't know how we can retell that story. I don't think you can write it. I don't think you can document it. It has to be felt.
Coming back to Africa will show us the real history of what was done to our people. And what it will ultimately do is show that African Americans have truly went through a lot and they are succeeding.
I was able to find my identity. For a long time, you try to figure out where you fit in, especially me being the lighter complexion.
As a mixed race person, I sometimes fear of acceptance and things like that. And so the level of warmth and acceptance within Ghana, you feel family everywhere you go.
Our history is deeper than what we thought it was. For me personally, I didn't take my history serious because they just kept throwing it in our face like slavery, slavery, slavery. And it was the same rinse and repeat thing. So for me, I was tired of it. And then once I got here, even though they were talking about slavery, it was like a whole different eye-opening thing.
We don't dwell on oppression. We have a singular search for sovereignty and agency. Agency means self-determined power. There are those that may attempt to oppress us, but we refuse to be oppressed. Ashe?
I locked my hair out here, which was one of the biggest decisions, in my life. I know who I am. I'm not ashamed to be who I am. I'm inspired to learn more about my culture. I want to teach more, at least, the conversations that I have to be able to give people the authentic version of Ghana as opposed to the propaganda that we've been, told.
It made me realize how happy I am to really be a black man because, and especially in the US, they kind of water it down. If you're not a rapper, athlete, or nobody, I'm a black man. Whether that could be me being a librarian, a journalist, an electrician, anything, I'm going to be successful at what I'm doing.
Many times, the messages, the cultural lessons that we're trying to get to pass on get disrupted by miseducation and media manipulation.
Arriving on campus in the University of Ghana was actually such a cool experience. They had drummers, people just dancing. For me, I really just have a big appreciation for dance and performance.
At the University of Ghana and pulling up and seeing all the acknowledgement of W.E.B. Du Bois, this man left the U.S. willingly because he wanted to come home to the motherland and establish something for us, and how that legacy is still standing.
I'm beyond my ancestors' wildest dreams. I am the living manifestation of their survivor and will to survive. And so I will never be able to remove that. And knowing that there's no place for self-doubt, there's no place for self-hate, there's no place for negative talk.
Even though we have different experiences, we still share the same resilience, the struggle, the survival, and then the pride. Black Americans are living today because someone refused to die. They are living today because someone had the will. Someone decided, no, I'm going to live. My descendants would live and then would come back to their roots.
I only hope that more and more people get to go and more people are educated on our history, because if not, people are never going to take us seriously.
We create black spaces, even in white institutions. We're capturing that sense of self to free up black minds and black genius to know there's no limitations of what they're able to do and accomplish.
We can tell about an institution's commitment based on what their budget says. These things should be instituted so that there can be support for faculty and students and support staff every year to engage in these activities.
Africa has taken hold of me, because this is where I think God planted me. I find myself in all people, but this is home.
This is really an emotional video. I won't lie, in my whole life, I've never come across an emotional video like this. Seriously, I cried. I really cried while watching this video, because it's just like everything was taken away from them. Like, you could hear from the way they are passionately talking. This is really not a good feelings at all, but it is a beautiful thing that they had to come down here and see for themselves. This is what we are encouraging people to come and see for themselves. They should not be blind with what they are being told over there. This is what your forefathers, our forefathers went through. You coming down here to see it is very important part of your life. Make it a priority for you to come down to Ghana and see for yourself. Come and see for yourself. Anybody who come down to Ghana and see this and see the way they humiliated our forefathers, everything about the person would change. His personality, everything you could hear from their mouth. See, this is not the first testimony. We've been hearing testimony from African Americans who visited Ghana. Most of them wish to stay back in Ghana, but we all know that it's not easy. Financially, they are not capable. We know what is happening. We know. But when you think about it the other way around, it's better to come back here and start all over again instead of you staying and being humiliated. After humiliating your forefathers, you still feel comfortable to stay around people who did that to your forefathers? They said they were being lied to. This is not the first time we are hearing this. Every African American that stepped his foot in Ghana always say this same thing. This is just what it is. They've been lied to from day one. Sometimes I sit and ask myself, God, please, when will Africa be great again? When will Africa be a place that people will love to live in? When will Africa flourish again? When will there be job in Africa for Africans to stay home and not to travel seeking for better lives? When will that be? I keep asking myself all these questions. See, there is no African American that will come back to Ghana and not wish to stay in Africa because life here is better than where they are coming from. This is really painful. It's really painful, but I'm glad that they came, they see for themselves, and I believe as they return, they will go preach to their people, so their people will see reasons to come and see for themselves. This is what we've been preaching for a very long time. People have to come down and see for themselves, because anybody that comes and see for himself, everything about him changed. Everything about him changed. Even the way, the reason, the way, like, you will not understand until you come and see for yourself. This video is getting too long already, so I will end here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do what to like, subscribe to this channel, share this video to as many eyes out there. I believe they'll watch and also learn one or two things on this clip. I love you guys always. Bye.